This is Daniel Barraza. He's the hero who just got done ejecting a pervert from a kid's birthday party. Watch how the Mesa Police Department treats him for his troubles. I don't know when people are going to wake up, come to their senses, and realize that the problem with American policing is not a few bad apples, just a couple police officers doing some bad things that nobody else in the department agrees with. What we have here is a systemic problem. What we have here is organized crime. Now, I found out about this story through DirectD, and DirectD did a great job filling in the holes that were left by Dave Biscobing's reporting over there at ABC 15. I want to play this, and I want to come at it from a slightly different angle based on what happened with those cops in Burnsville, the two cops that died and the one firefighter that died in that domestic violence thing, where they're making these two cops heroes. They're speaking for the entire state, saying, these people are heroes. They died in the line of duty, and this is what we do every day. We put our lives on the line. And nobody asked the question, yeah, but what kind of record did these cops have? Have these cops been investigated? Are they known to provoke the public into doing things that they otherwise wouldn't have done so that the cops can look good and the member of the public can look bad? We're going to go over this reporting, and I want to just highlight a couple of key details.
Mesa officers knocked this man unconscious at a quinceañera. They're accused of lying in their reports.
At a freaking birthday party. Without police, who will wreck a perfectly good birthday party?
Charge him with resisting arrest. Those charges were eventually dropped, and that man is now suing. With this body camera footage as the main evidence in his lawsuit, ABC 15 chief investigator Dave Biscobing exclusively obtained this video. But before Dave shows you even more, we do want to warn you, some of it is hard to watch. It's violent. It also shows officers threatening children. Now here's Dave with his exclusive report.
Without cops, who would threaten the children?
We got body camera footage from 3 officers involved in this arrest. And in this story, we'll switch between those cameras. That's for 2 reasons. 1, to give you the clearest angle. And 2, not all of the officers were recording at the same time. On October 2nd, 2022, a handful of Mesa officers walked into this event hall. You can see adults, teens, and young children, all there for a quinceañera. The officers head straight to this man. His name is Daniel Barraza.
Now look at him. They're being surrounded. We're going to see a couple of body cam angles. Here's the officer they're going to highlight. You got a cop right here. You got a cop right here. And there's a cop wearing this body camera. So this guy is surrounded by 4 Mesa thugs.
I don't know. Apparently there's a fight or something.
There's the other 2.
We'll talk about it?
No, I don't need a fight. I don't need to see. What do you need?
Hey, explain what happened with the quinceañera.
Ma'am, yeah.
We'll talk to him. We got
my husband.
before fighting.
Okay.
All right. We're going to talk to him.
Okay, the other man. Hey!
All right, and I'm not going to show the rest of this right here. I'm going to skip over here to 220. If you want to watch the rest of it, I will leave the link to ABC 15 Arizona. And they do have a age restriction on this video. There's only 12,000 views on this video. This video right here should get millions upon millions of views. DirectD's video should get millions upon millions of views. And one of the things that YouTube does is they will put an age restriction on a video, and it completely censors that video from people who want to see the video, because Dave Biscobing does really good stuff and he actually has viral content. But when you show the entire truth, YouTube will not allow you to see it. They put it behind this age restriction shadow banning algorithm. So we're going to fast forward to after the brutality.
Let's stop here and go back to this point. Why did the officers first go straight to Daniel? Records show police received an unknown trouble call. And in the parking lot, a man told them he was punched by Daniel. What the officers didn't know, that man was accused of inappropriately touching underage girls on the dance floor, including Daniel's goddaughter.
That's why you just have to cooperate with us. We came at you super chill. We're trying to figure out what's going on.
Quote, "We came at you super chill." In legal filings, Daniel and his attorney see it much differently, writing that the officers attacked Daniel.
And that right there is why you always record police. Don't start recording police when something like this happens. Record them when they walk in, because they are nothing but trouble a large percentage of the time.
Without provocation, and they did so for no other purpose but to inflict pain and suffering. Now let's stop here and go back even further, before officers ever entered the building. Listen as the first officer started his body camera.
Let's get swifty. Come on. Might as well, bud. Might as well.
Daniel's attorney called the phrase, "let's get swifty," some type of call to arms, to set the tone for how officers would treat Daniel and other partygoers. The phrase is from a cartoon called Rick and Morty. The character singing, "Take off your pants and panties. On the floor. It's time to get swifty in here."
I would not doubt that that is the intention of these cops when they said, "let's get swifty." How about walking in and going, "Hey, let's try to find out what's really happening here. Let's be here to add some justice to the situation, real justice. Let's get to the bottom of the truth. Let's not be thugs." Is that too much to ask?
Back inside the event hall, while the officers took down Daniel, this one broke away and pulled out his pepper spray.
Hey, back up. I will spray every motherfucker. Back up. Back up.
Did you hear what he said to these kids? "I will spray every mother trucker here." To a room full of screaming frickin' kids as they have one of the kids' dads on the floor for having done nothing wrong. Stay tuned, guys, because there's way more to this, but I will leave under this video the link to the City of Mesa Facebook page and the Mesa Police Department Twitter page so that you can weigh in and let them know what you think about this.
Let's stop and play some of that back. First, you may have noticed the tattoos on his forearms. Those words are Latin for hunting evil. And here, the people he's threatening to spray are teenage girls and a boy. It's why we've blurred their faces.
Back up. Go.
This girl is Daniel's goddaughter, trying to tell that officer about the other man.
The guy touched me! The guy touched me!
Later, the same officer told the same girl Daniel should have cooperated.
She was saying, "That guy touched me, that guy touched me," saying the guy that Daniel Barraza threw out of the birthday party was the one who touched her. But the police don't care about the details. They are just there to get swifty.
He told us what happened, because he probably wouldn't be going to jail if that's what happened. Because he wanted to fight with us. Now that's where we're at.
He wanted to fight with us. We didn't initiate the fight. I don't know what you're talking about. This is why you record the police, because while we have the body cam footage here, thank you, Dave Biscabing, they could have easily deleted that body camera footage or accidentally ran over the, "Oh yeah, I don't know what happened. My body cam got run over. There's no way we can recover the data." That could easily happen.
Okay.
In legal filings, Daniel's attorney wrote the officers lied in their reports to justify the arrest. Quote, "He was wrongly and maliciously charged with the crime in order to cover up these officers' improper actions." And in their reports, the officers did write several false statements. But before we get to those reports, let's quickly focus on the officer who first pushed Daniel. His name is Officer Monarez. If his name sounds familiar, it's because he was part of a pretty big scandal back in 2018. Surveillance video showed several officers beating this man. Monarez got a written reprimand for his role. That case settled for $350,000. Now back to Officer Monarez at the quinceañera. In his report, he wrote,
So he's already cost the city. He played a part in costing the city $350,000, and they keep him anyway. What do you expect to happen when you keep a cop that's already got a record like that with your department? What do you expect? How do you expect them to go forward and treat the public after that?
Daniel was asked multiple times to sit down, but did not comply. Not true. It was once.
Want to have a seat? We'll talk about it.
No, I don't need a fight. I don't need a seat. What do you need?
Officer Monarez also wrote, Daniel again showed non-compliance by stating, "I don't have to do." Other officers wrote the same. Listen again, knowing that English is Daniel's second language.
Want to have a seat? We'll talk about it.
No, I don't need a fight. I don't need a seat. What do you need?
Monarez also wrote Daniel had his arms crossed and fists clenched. Here you can see his hands, not clenched. The officer also writing, Daniel walked directly towards me and stopped just a few inches in front of me. Due to Daniel not complying with multiple commands to sit down, already showing aggressive behavior, and now within inches of me, I impact pushed Daniel to create separation so that he could be placed in handcuffs.
Everything they wrote in the report, everything was a lie. So do you think this is rare? Do you think it's rare? Do you think it's only relegated to the Mesa Police Department? Does this barely ever happen in police departments across the country where they cover for their own evil actions by lying on reports?
Video shows Daniel is never within inches of the officer. The others also wrote they had to repeatedly punch, knee, and taser Daniel because he was resisting and trying to punch them. But in Daniel's lawsuit, there's one thing his lawyer points out that isn't in their police reports. The report is silent as it pertains to Daniel losing consciousness during their unwarranted and illegal attack.
I think he's unconscious, so.
Okay, get him up on his side.
Now, this lawsuit is still in the very early stages, and in this case, Daniel claims he suffered severe injuries, including broken ribs and a traumatic brain injury that's left him with permanent neurological problems. As for the criminal charges, before this incident, Daniel's lawyer said he had a clean record, and while the resisting arrest charges were dropped, he's still facing a misdemeanor count for allegedly punching the man accused of touching his niece and other girls at the party. I'm investigator Dave Biscayne.
So this is nothing but the injustice system at work. This is the corruption of the Mesa Police Department, specifically right here. And this exponentiates itself to other police departments in other parts of the country. But just dealing with this right here, you've got the injustice system who are still going to keep a criminal record on this guy having done nothing wrong. Actually, the only guy who did right, the only guy who cared about justice that day was Daniel Barraza. He's the one who interceded on the behalf of his goddaughter, and he took care of business and didn't need the cops intervening. And the guy who had committed the criminal act against the child is the one who called the criminal cops to arrive on the scene. That's how convoluted this whole thing is right here. We need to come to the stark realization that if any of the people in this room pulled out a firearm and defended themselves against these criminal cops, and one or two of those cops died in the process, the person who defended themselves against criminality would have been seen as the criminal, while they would have placed the cops on a pedestal as heroes. Even if you successfully defend yourself against them, they will make sure that you lose. That's the horrific reality of the American policing protection racket. So to recap, the only guy who was interested in justice this night right here was Daniel Barraza, as he stood against a pervert in a birthday party and the criminal thugs of the Mesa Police Department. Never trust the police. Always record the police when they show up, and realize that your life is in danger when they're in the area. I'll leave the link to the City of Mesa, Arizona government Facebook page and the Mesa Police Department Twitter page in the description below. Share this video with everybody you know and help me root out the corruption in American policing. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt. There's free shipping through tonight. This is the 20th, so through midnight, there's free shipping on anything in the store, or become a channel member. But more importantly, know what your rights are, stand for your rights, and flex your rights. If you don't exercise those rights, you're going to lose them. I will see you in the next video.